In the previous chapter, we saw Ren Kong and his group from the heaven, trailing sect, humiliating the demon, scheming sect, injuring their top disciples, and issuing a warning to stay out of the challenge stage. Despite the insult, Zhuo Yifan remained calm, vowing to teach them a lesson and show the true strength of their sect. Let's begin the chapter. But they say Zhuo Yifan obliterated the beast-taming sect's disciples with a single fist, even killing their elder. It's hard to believe he couldn't react to my palm strike, Elder Qi murmured, suspicion flickering in his eyes. Ren Kong, who had been silently listening, chuckled dismissively. Elder Qi, there's no need to overthink. Zhuo Yifan is merely at the third layer of the radiant stage. How strong can he be? Rumors tend to exaggerate things. Besides, if he was truly as powerful as they claim, why would he sit out when every sect was watching? It's obvious. He's been using scare tactics to make others surrender, without fighting. Only the weak rely on such tricks. Ren Kong paused, his grin widening. As for the beast-taming sect elder, the exalted double dragons themselves stated he broke the rules by attacking the guests, and exalted Heiran executed him. Zhuo Yifan had nothing to do with it. All this hype is just another of his manipulations. But me? I'm not falling for it, ha-ha! Elder Qi frowned, but eventually nodded. Perhaps you're right, young master. Maybe I'm too old to see through a child's lies. Ren Kong puffed up with pride. Exactly. The new generation is rising, ha-ha! Kong Shan, Kong Lin, he addressed his subordinates. If the others buy into this farce, I want you to take Zhuo Yifan down in tomorrow's fight. Kill him outright and crush their morale. Leave no doubts about his supposed strength. Understood, young master, they replied in unison. Ren Kong's smug grin grew even wider. Tomorrow, the world would witness how easily he exposed Zhuo Yifan's lies. The next morning, the arena was packed with spectators. Even though it was only the middle three sects challenge stage, the superior three sects were present in full force. The buzz was louder than ever, with everyone eager to see two individuals. One was the underdog who had shocked everyone so far, Zhuo, fan from the demon scheming sect. The other was Gentle Sword Wen, Tao of the Sword God sect, the strongest sect among the middle three. Amidst the murmurs, Wu Qingqiu from the superior three sects commented with a chuckle, Well, the superior three sects have finally been shaken. But the one climbing isn't the demon scheming sect, it's the Sword God sect. I wonder who'll be taking the fall this time. Yanmo, standing nearby, replied with certainty. Is there even a question? The Universal Righteous sect is the most likely to drop. They've always been last. Wu Qingqiu raised an eyebrow. You seem quite confident about that. Of course, Yanmo said without hesitation. For centuries, the fight for the top spot has always been between our two sects. While the Universal Righteous sect barely clings to the title of a superior sect, Yi Lin, who had been silent, suddenly interjected, I don't care who's last. All I want is to fight that guy. I can't rest until I face my destined rival. Yanmo turned to him, curious. Do you mean Zhuo Yifan? Obviously. None of you are worth my time, Yi Lin replied dismissively. Yanmo bristled. You're underestimating me? Yi Lin smirked. I'm not underestimating you. I'm just stating facts. Wu Qingqiu couldn't help but laugh at the exchange, while Yanmo fumed silently. The judge stepped into the arena, his voice booming over the crowd. Welcome, exalted ones. Everyone stood and bowed as exalted double dragons appeared in their seats of honor. Exalted Heiran raised his hand, signaling the audience to sit. Then, in a calm but commanding tone, he declared, Let the matches begin. The middle and lower three sects entered the arena, one after the other. Sword God sect, Demon Soul sect, and Heaven Trailing sect represented the middle three, followed by Mystical Heaven sect and Demon Scheming sect from the lower three. This time, Zhuo Yifan stood at the forefront of his team, signaling his intent to fight. The crowd erupted in excitement. After his mysterious absence in previous matches, the spectators were eager to see if the rumors about him were true. Even the superior sect's representatives took notice. Wu Qingqiu leaned forward with interest, while Yi Lin's gaze burned with anticipation. Finally, Yi Lin muttered, show me what you've got. Wen Tao, brimming with fighting spirit, greeted Zhuo Yifan with a grin. Zhuo Yifan, your reputation precedes you. I've been looking forward to this. Let's see if you can live up to it. Zhuo Yifan, unimpressed, rolled his eyes. If you're so eager, why don't you fight me and find out? Wen Tao paused, then nodded seriously. I will. Next, Han Yunfeng from the Demon Soul sect approached Zhuo Fan with a polite smile. Greetings, Zhuo Fan. I am Big Young Han. Zhuo Fan interrupted, eliciting laughter from the audience. Han Yunfeng coughed, maintaining his composure. I am Han Yunfeng. My father, the Demon Soul sect leader, is a strict man. He gave names only to his sons, who proved their strength by the age of 5. I earned my name, while my brothers are simply called second son and third son. Zhuo Fan raised an eyebrow. Wow, your dad's next level. That's true demonic sect leadership for you. Ruthless even with his own sons. Han Yunfeng smiled faintly. I wanted to fight you in this competition, but I've decided against it. There's no point in a fight where I'm destined to lose. Still, I look forward to your performance. Zhuo Fan nodded, impressed by Han Yunfeng's honesty and pragmatism. But his gaze shifted to Ren Kong, who sneered at him. Zhuo Fan sighed, scratching his nose. Poor guy, still clinging to his delusions. Exalted double dragons watched the exchange, their expressions unreadable. They had initially considered Zhuo Fan's inclusion too early in the competition, but after observing the strength of this year's disciples, they decided to let him fight. The judge's voice rang out again. The Mystical Heaven Sect and Demon Scheming Sect will now choose their challenges. Elder Yun from Mystical Heaven Sect stepped forward and bowed. We humbly decline to challenge any Middle Three Sect. Mystical Heaven Sect seeks only to hold its position under the guidance of the Heaven Trailing Sect. The crowd groaned in disgust at Elder Yun's blatant sycophancy. Even the Mystical Heaven Sect's disciples blushed in shame. But Ren Kong beamed, interpreting the statement as praise for his sect. Zhuo Fan, however, smirked. That old man's got guts, turning defeat into victory by sheer shamelessness. I respect that. Finally, the judge turned to Demon Scheming Sect. Before Elder Yang could respond, Zhuo Fan stepped forward. Fight, of course. Zhuo Fan's voice rang through the arena, bold and unyielding, filling every corner with a sense of thrill and anticipation. The crowd, especially the representatives of the various nations, felt their excitement rise. The 9 sects of the Western lands had been stagnant in their rankings for millennia. No one could even recall the last time an underdog dared to challenge the established order. Yet here it was, history unfolding before their eyes. All eyes turned to the stage, eager for the spectacle about to take place. Every sect's team had anticipated this moment, their gazes fixed in suspense. Among them, one face stood out, Ren Kong, whose expression darkened with fury. His glare at Zhuo Fan carried the weight of disdain and malice, as if the young man were a stain on his very existence. A small sect like the Demon Scheming Sect dares to challenge its betters? Ren Kong thought bitterly, his jaw tightening. They'll pay for this insolence. I swear it. He turned to his teammates, Kong Shan and Kong Lin, and gave a slight nod. His silent command understood. Though confident on the surface, the Heaven Trailing Sect's unease was palpable. The Demon Scheming Sect had 6 ethereal stage experts, whereas their own strength relied heavily on 3. Renzhong at the 2nd layer and the twins, Kongshan and Konglin at the 3rd layer. The rest of their team, composed of Radiant Stage disciples, barely stood a chance. They couldn't hope to match their opponents in individual strength. It was no wonder, then, that Ren Kong's strategy hinged on striking fast and hard. The twins' combined power would have to crush the enemy's morale before the battle even began. Kongshan and Konglin exchanged a glance, their eyes gleaming coldly as they shifted their focus to Zhuo Fan, who stood at the forefront of his team. Zhuo Fan, noticing their intent, raised an eyebrow. So I'm their target, he mused with a faint smile. Ignorance truly is bliss. The judge's voice cut through the tension, calling for order. Since the Demon Scheming Sect has issued their challenge, both teams will now enter the Sumeru dimension. First up, the lower 3 sect Demon Scheming Sect versus the middle 3 sect, Heaven Trailing Sect in a team battle. As the announcement echoed across the arena, 2 figures stepped forward. They were the elders who guarded the gates of the double Dragon Manor. Their hands moved swiftly, forming complex gestures in the air. With a sharp motion, they thrust their palms forward, and the space before them rippled as if a curtain had been drawn back. The ripples solidified, and the elders, gripping the edges of this invisible fabric, pulled with all their might. Their veins bulged with the effort. Creak. Oh. The air split apart with a deep resonating sound, revealing an entirely new world beyond the rift. A vast valley sprawled before them, bordered by an imposing mountain draped in dense, lush forests. The expanse seemed endless, a realm so vast it could host battles involving hundreds of thousands of warriors. The judge turned back to the crowd, his voice authoritative. Disciples of both sects enter and fight as you see fit. Without hesitation, Zhuo Yifan stepped forward, the picture of calm. Just as he reached the barrier, Ren Kong's mocking laughter rang out. Well, isn't this a sight? Your first time in a world like this, I'm guessing. Don't even think about hiding. This terrain is familiar ground for us. You'll only waste time trying. Zhuo Yifan turned slightly, his expression unreadable. Oh, I was thinking the same thing. But let's be honest, it won't matter how long you hide. It'll just delay the inevitable. Actually, he chuckled softly. I can't remember the last time I played cat and mouse. This could be fun. Ren Kong bristled, unwilling to let the remark stand. We'll see who ends up running. Those in the know couldn't help but smirk at Ren Kong's misplaced confidence. To them, it was clear who the real predator was. I've never seen someone so eager to meet their end, one observer thought with a shake of their head. Unfazed, Zhuo Yifan strode into the Sumeru dimension, his team following close behind. On the other side, Ren Kong signaled his team, and they too disappeared into the shimmering barrier. Inside the dimension, Zhuo Yifan and his disciples found themselves in a small valley. The air was thick with spiritual energy, far denser than anything they'd experienced at the Double Dragon Manor. The disciples marveled at the sheer abundance of energy. This place is a cultivator's paradise, one of them whispered in awe. But Zhuo Yifan wasn't so easily impressed. His sharp eyes scanned the surroundings, his mind already piecing together the truth. This isn't just a spiritual gathering array, he thought, frowning slightly. The concentration is too high. There must be world crystals here. Interesting. As his thoughts wandered, a shadow loomed in a distant corner of the realm. Danking Shen's piercing gaze flickered as he observed the scene unfold. The tranquility was short-lived. In a flash, Kong Shan and Kong Lin appeared before the demon scheming sect team. Their sudden arrival startled the disciples, but Zhuo Yifan remained calm, his eyebrow arching slightly. Without a word, the twins bypassed Zhuo Yifan entirely, their focus locked on the 6 ethereal stage experts standing behind him. Their aura surged as Kong Shan growled, "Mountain and forest shadow the mountain." A yellow glow enveloped Kong Shan, his power swelling as if he were one with the earth itself. At the same time, Kong Lin moved, his hands weaving a complex sign. "Mountain and forest shadow the forest." A vibrant green energy surged forth, creating a shimmering curtain around the two. The 6 ethereal stage experts responded swiftly, unleashing a combined palm strike that roared like an avalanche. The massive attack barreled toward the twins with unstoppable force. But as it collided with the green energy, something unexpected happened. Instead of breaking through, the attack's momentum was absorbed, the energy dissipating into harmless ripples. Then, with a sudden jolt, the attack was rebounded back toward its senders, now fused with Kong Shan's earthy power. The resulting explosion sent the 6 experts flying in all directions, their bodies scattering like leaves in a storm. They tumbled over 100 meters away, their faces pale with shock. The audience gasped in disbelief. In mere moments, the twins had overpowered 6 opponents of the same cultivation level. Sword God Sect and Demon Soul Sect exchanged knowing glances. They alone understood the terror of facing the Kong twins. Their combined techniques blurred the line between illusion and reality, force and flexibility. Even Wen Tao, a seasoned observer, was impressed. "How long do you think it'll take Zhuo Yifan to handle them?" he asked Zi Tianshang. Xie Tianshang hesitated before replying. "Zhuo Yifan is unique. His progress is unparalleled. I haven't seen him in years, so I can't say for sure." From the sidelines, Han Yunfeng spoke up. 15 minutes at most." Wen Tao turned to him, intrigued. "Care to elaborate?" Han Yunfeng nodded solemnly. "We've faced both Zhuo Yifan and the Kong twins before. The twins used nearly all their strength against us, but Zhuo Yifan, he barely exerted himself. His casual moves were far more intricate than anything we could counter. Comparing them is like comparing a lake to the sea. No one here can push him to his limits." As the twins turned their attention to Zhuo Fan, it became clear that this battle was far from over.